Embrace all you good people. This week's Alternative Sounds of the 90s. Find it on BBC Sounds. Thanks to Joe Tracini. Lovely to chat to Joe. Next week, Jamie Tart, Phil Dunster. He's in from Ted Lasso. Claudia's up next. Have yourselves a very good Saturday.
This is Radio 2
on BBC Sounds
and on your smart speaker. Play BBC Radio 2.
BBC News at 10 o'clock. This is Claire Ronacres. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has welcomed a commitment by the US to train Ukrainian pilots on American-made F-16 fighter jets. The decision paves the way for European countries, including the Netherlands, Belgium and Denmark, to send their own F-16s to Kiev. Yuri Sak, an advisor to Ukraine's defence minister, says modern jets could help push back the Russian invasion.
For Ukraine to be able to protect its skies better and for Ukraine to be able to provide proper cover to the ground forces during the military operations in the east and south of Ukraine, having F-16s, which are the most versatile and most multi-role, and that's why most suitable platform, is very, very important.
The announcement was made just before President Zelensky arrived at the G7 summit in Japan. The meeting of world leaders, including Rishi Sunak, has been discussing ways to deal with China as well as the war in Ukraine. A White House official said they were looking to de-risk, not decouple from Beijing. Head teachers at some of the country's top schools say they're bewildered by the fast rate of change in artificial intelligence and are seeking guidance on how to deal with the technology. They've written to The Times announcing a new body of experts to advise schools on AI developments and what they call the technology's real and present dangers. Yatunda Youssef reports.
The letter has been signed by more than 60 education leaders. They say artificial intelligence poses the greatest threat, but also potentially the greatest benefit to students. They add that its development is moving far too quickly for the government alone to provide schools with real-time advice. Rishi Sunak has already said guardrails should be put in place to maximise the benefits of AI while minimising the risks to society.
Figures from around half the councils that took part in the local elections in England show thousands of people were unable to vote because they didn't have the necessary ID. The election on May the 4th was the first to require people to show documents such as passports or driving licences before casting a ballot. A masked protester has attacked a statue on the front of the BBC's headquarters in London using a hammer and chisel. It's the second time the depiction of Prospero and Ariel has been targeted by demonstrators who want it removed because its creator, Eric Gill, reported sexually abusing his daughters in his diaries. Our culture editor, Katie Razzle, says it raises questions for all the institutions that house Gill's work.
He is an artist who has a sort of influence across the country, not just at the BBC. You know, his sculptures are housed in major institutions, and also, let's face it, Gill Sans, people might have heard of that if they know about typefaces, you know, is one of the most widely used British typefaces. So his legacy is everywhere. He is pervasive.
Let's take a very quick look at the weather. It'll be largely dry and sunny in England and Wales, cloudier elsewhere with a few patches of light rain. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 10.
Now, this is Claudia Winkleman, BBC.